Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And I am so excited that you're here. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a different conversation here on the channel. I really wanted to talk about this subject because it's something that's been in my awareness for a while, and I did post a video on discernment prior about a couple months before, but I still feel like certain things need to be said in relationship to practitioners not doing the right thing. And I'm actually planning to invite some of the people that are denouncing certain practitioners into the channel so they can talk about their experiences. But for now, I'm going to talk about the experience that I witnessed as a spiritual healing facilitator, holding space for someone who was basically receiving codes that were of false light. And I feel it's important for me to share this because it's absolutely necessary for us to really practice discernment and be aware of what's happening. So, if you want to watch a little bit more about how I helped a client untangle some dark magic that they were dealing with, and you definitely want to make sure that you continue watching this video. But before we get started, I just kind of wanted to drop into gratitude and thank all of my supporters. So if you are here right now and you haven't subscribed yet, thank you so much for subscribing. And also, please make sure that you like and share this video so that we share this far and wide. I'm really looking to grow this channel, and so your support really means a lot. And so I'm also in the awareness that this channel is meant to grow at the pace that it's meant to, based on integrity. And so that's the most important part for me, is to make sure that we are operating from integrity. So I'm super grateful for those of you who are supporting. And so if you want to take a step forward, right, and support the channel a little bit further, I want to invite you to join the Cosmic Light Activation membership. Right now, I am putting the names of those who are part of the membership right now. Thank you so much for supporting. You are the backbone of this channel. You mean the world to me. And I am so grateful for all of you because you are allowing me to continue to create videos and continue to share, everything that I am meant to share, and help me. You're helping me in my mission here on this planet, which is going to be really all about spiritual education and just community building. So here we are, part of the family. And so thank you so much for being part of the family. And if you want to join, I want to invite you to get monthly Akashic record clearings, and you will also get weekly guidance through a special portal that we have, where you will be able to receive weekly guidance, oracle guidance directly from me every single Monday. You receive that, so I'd love for you to join. And not only are you going to be receiving the perks of receiving the clearings and the readings every week for the collective, but also you are going to be receiving additional perks and discounts that only those who are part of the Cosmic Light Activation get to have. And so we also have a private Telegram group and channel, so you get access to that as well, and we can interact there. So it's really great. So I would love for you to join if you desire today. So you can go over to my website, thebloominglotushealing.com, / cosmic light activation to join. So enough about this. Let's go ahead and dive into the conversation. So I don't have, as y'all know, I don't have any sort of, bullet points. Sometimes I do have bullet points, but today it's going to be just channeling everything in. I'm just going to be talking to you as if we're talking to a friend right now. And so I'm just going to tell you. So I have a client who came to me about a month ago, and she mentioned how she was struggling with trying to make a decision. So this happens to be also someone that I met who's also a practitioner, and we became friends, and we've been acquaintances and friends, and so we've been kind of getting to know each other a little bit more. And in that journey, we've been interacting and texting each other. And one day she mentioned to me that she was having a hard time really finding discernment, or she was noticing how she was feeling overwhelmed about some negative actions that this practitioner that she witnessed was doing. And then, but also this feeling of wanting to continue to take like trainings and other classes and things of that nature, which I thought it was kind of interesting. No. Mm. So with that said, she mentioned that to me, and something felt kind of off, and she was saying how she was scared and she was feeling really overwhelmed, and she was receiving guidance from her higher self, but she was so confused, and she was getting all these mixed signals and mixed messages, and so she was just basically in this state of confusion, and she just needed clarity. And I was like, okay, great, let's go ahead and book a session. So she booked a session, and the one thing that she asked me was, listen, I am about to take this healing modality training from this practitioner, and I really want to make sure that I am taking something that is for my highest good. And so what we did is, well, we opened her record. So what I do is that, as you all know, if you've been following me for a while, if you haven't followed me, I work in the Akashic Records, and I clear energy that is stored at the records, and everything is in the records, right? So like all we have to do is just open the records and find out what's going on. And so and what I love about the work that I do is that I work with a higher self, so we were able to tap into her higher self, which is going to give us the highest guidance, right, available for her. And so she was like, I really want to receive what, like, the truth, tell me the truth, like I am so scared, I don't know if I should be taking this class anymore, yada yada yada. And I said, okay, fine. So we opened the records, and so her higher self came forth, and immediately she asked, okay, well, I want to know what is the level of consciousness of this, and I have a specific chart that checks that. And so when I checked the level of consciousness, it was kind of interesting because it was high enough to be disguised as light, but it was too low for it to be actually in the highest vibration. And so I kind of took out the chart and I showed her, where it was. I was like, listen, this is the highest and this is the lowest, and this is kind of like right there on the very low, but it's disguised by light. And so I was getting the message already, false light, like it was kind of coming through, this is not of the highest light, this is not of the highest vibration. So I told her, okay, this is definitely not good. And she was like, well, this person was giving codes. I went to this specific event where this person was giving codes to everyone, and said, oh my gosh, I already knew that we had to do some clearings and clear some programs. So I went ahead and I said, okay, well, let's go ahead and ask spirit. Let's ask your higher self. This is something that we need to clear. So we went ahead and we did that. And so definitely there were programs, of course, there were imprint programs in there, because, imprint programs are all about, the things that are imprinted onto us. It's almost like a stamp, right? So there was all these stamp programs that were, placed on her that were not for her highest good. And it was all this negative energy that was involved with this. And that was the confusion, right? And so the interesting thing about this, though, is that, as I was, clearing, thankfully, she didn't take the training, but there are other people who have taken the training, and so they have other things happening for them. But thankfully, she didn't take the training. The only thing that she received was that basically that imprint programming. And so this imprint programming was really interesting, because one of the things that this practitioner really forces people to do is to open their hearts. And so the thing is that when you force people to open their hearts, and which he would by yelling at them, right? And when I invite her over to the channel, she'll explain more of what happened specifically. But this person specifically was, requiring people to open their hearts and to trust. And so, but it was in a very commanding and very demanding way. And the reason why is because I was actually talking to another practitioner who you guys have connected to, if you've seen him on the lives that I do on Thursdays, Maurice. And as I was mentioning this to him, he was mentioning something that really struck me, which was the fact that he said, listen, of course, they can't really do anything to us. But the moment that we open our hearts, the moment that the demand that we open our hearts and then we do that, then that's when they can really wreak havoc. And that's what happened to my beautiful friend and client. And so she basically had these programs that were imprinted onto her heart space and then also onto her third eye. The third eye is all about clarity. And that's what she was struggling with. She was confused because she knew there was a part of her that knew there was something wrong, but then there was also this part of her that was making decisions that was kind of like automated decisions to actually take this program of his, like this facilitator training. And so it was really interesting because even though her higher self was like really pulling her away, there was still this program that was kind of pushing her towards that, because like she was saying, it's like, I feel like I still want to take this program, and even though I'm getting all these messages that I shouldn't, and there's something wrong, there's something that is up. So why am I bringing this up to you? The reason why I'm bringing this up to you right now, and the reason why I feel it's important for me to bring this up, not only after we did the clearing, she's been on a full blown uh, you know, like mission to share what happened to her, which, I'm excited for her. But I also feel like it's important for me to share this as a practitioner, as someone that is teaching people how to apply healing, and someone who is teaching people how to connect to the unknown, really. Because I mean, the reality is that when we're connecting to spiritual things, there's a lot of unknowns, right? And so there's a lot of things that we don't know about, right? And so that we got to be very, very careful about that. And so, when I created the beloved method, I made sure, okay, this was of the highest vibration. I was double checking all of the downloads. I was checking the level of consciousness of the downloads. I quite literally checked the level of consciousness of the charts, everything. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to bring something forth for people, that it is actually going to help them, and it's actually for their highest good. Like, I would not want ever to be, channeling anything from any being that is going to basically not only hurt me, but also hurt others. What's scary about this whole situation is that, granted, this person is super, super known, and they have a lot of followers, and they're doing a lot of things. And I'm thinking, wow, like, it's incredible how this is happening. But it makes sense. It makes sense because, we are in this spiritual war, right? The spiritual war of light versus dark and all that. And I don't necessarily talk about this too much on this channel because I'm really focusing on healing. My mission is to focus on healing. However, this came forth because I needed to talk about it. It was something that needs to be spoken about. And so I'm not going to be silent about this, because when we silence it, then then the darkness can do its magic, right? And we don't want to do that. And so what I found out, as I was doing the healing, was that, this was really dark magic, right? That this person was really implementing and using to basically apply a certain sort of a program. Really, that's really what it was, a program that would make people want to buy and want to spend money and want to follow him, no matter what he did, no matter what he did, even if it wasn't aligned with their values. That program was kind of happening there. And we want to be very, very, very truthful here, right? And so, listen, I understand, we're all human. We all have I know I have my moments, right? Like, I have my moments where I'm not feeling good emotionally, and I may lash out at my husband. It happens. I'm not here to say like I'm this pious person that is perfect, because that's not ever at all. I'm still healing myself, right? But at least I'm being honest with you. I'm being very clear and honest with you that as I continue to help others and continue to teach others, I am also working on myself. I am a work in progress. I can be a work of art and also a work in progress at the same time. Those can exist. But the important thing is that we are honest about this, and we are not only honest, but we're also honest about our work, that we're actually doing the work, that we're actually doing the things that we need to do to make sure that we are our best selves, right? We're not here to feel guilty over the things that we've done in the past. We're not here to feel negativity over ourselves. We're here to extend grace and love and compassion towards ourselves. However, the scary thing about this is that a lot of these false, let's say, prophets or false practitioners, I'm going to call them, they are using these things against light workers, against those of us, right? And I'm not going to claim me, because I'm stepping all of that away, but they're using all of these things to manipulate, right? And so I found out that this specific practitioner also is using a sacred medicine. And so the sacred medicine of the Amazon, which if you followed me for a while, you know that I've taken the sacred medicine of ayahuasca with a shaman who is from South America, who practices or serves the medicine here. And this man, it comes from a lineage, right? And you have to come from a lineage to serve this, right? You have to, have some sort of integrity, right, when you're doing this, because you're opening people's hearts. And what's scary about this is, like, using these plant medicines, right, such as psilocybin mushrooms or ayahuasca or MDMA or any other heart opening. Well, MDMA is not a, it's not a plant medicine, but medicines that open their people's hearts. When you're using this, and then you're also imprinting them with all of this coding that is not of the light, it's actually of the dark. That is I am just going to call it flat out, that is evil. That is not what you're that is not okay. It's absolutely not okay. And so, a couple things I want to say. If you haven't watched a video about discernment, please watch that video. I'm gonna put it on the comments below, or on the description below, so you can watch that. You definitely want to practice discernment. One thing that I have learned being part of community of spiritual communities, and I have learned that not everyone that's spiritual is good. Not everyone that's spiritual has a good heart. Not everyone that's spiritual is practicing things that are of the light, or of the highest good of others. Not everyone that's spiritual has their heart open. Not everyone that's spiritual is doing the inner work. You can be spiritual and still have a lot of darkness that is operating from within you. And so, with that said, I kind of wanted to share that, because I have personally received that type of energy in the spiritual community, where I've opened my heart, I've poured my heart out to people, and then I am made to be the bad person, because I am shining the truth on things that are dark and they're not good, right? And so now I am here to say, please take the time to, if you have your pendulum, take the time to connect to your higher self before you take any facilitator training, before you let anyone put any sort of code, anything, before you let anyone place any Reiki on you or anything. It doesn't matter. Okay, if they're saying everything is love and light, because they can say love and light, and then on the inside, they don't care. They don't have integrity. And that is not of the light. If you're with someone with integrity, check the percentage. What is the percentage of integrity of this person? And this and not necessarily the person, but the actual work that they're doing. What is the percentage of integrity? What is the percentage that this is of the light? What is the level of consciousness of this? Is this the consciousness of oneness and spirit and the universe of creativity and love, or is this the false light? Ask those questions, please. For the love of God, I ask you to please act as your own protector, because at the end of the day, these people, they don't care. As long as they're getting your money, and as long as they're taking advantage of you, they don't care. They do not care. They do not care, because they're here to make themselves rich, make themselves famous, so they can gather more people, more light workers, and continue to attract more people, and guide them into misguide them, right? Misguide them into the darkness, right? And so, if you by any chance feel any sort of weird way about someone, make sure that you first check if they're in integrity. Check if there's You could also check if there's anything between you and them that needs to be cleared, because there could be karmic things that you need to clear. Of course, I'm talking from the soul relationships aspect of things. I always have to throw that in. Clear that, because you could potentially have a program from a past life, from another lifetime, from a parallel life, that is related to that person wanting to connect with you, because you had some sort of contract with them that you were going to do this in this lifetime as well. So you can clear those contracts. You can disconnect from all that. Okay, you want to check that. Then you also want to check the level of consciousness of whatever facilitation that they're doing, whether it is a training, or whether it is a healing, or whether, just check. It doesn't matter if they look and act the part, because a lot of times there's actors in this work. And so we want to be very, very clear about this. um I cannot express to you how sad it makes me to know that this is happening, right? And I know that this came to my lap and this came to me for a reason. I know that this came to pass for a reason, for me to be aware of something. Because I've been very focused on just staying focused on the healing and doing something to heal and clear. But I know now that, beyond clearing, soul relationships and soul contracts between people, there's also that other aspect that we also must clear, and that I can clear for you, which is I can clear it, you can clear it for yourself too if you know how to do it. Where you would need to clear certain codes that are put onto you, like implants and codes and hooks that are not of your highest good. And so it's important that we stay aware. Sometimes things are, I can tell you my own experience. I've had moments where I didn't even know I had things going on, and it took another practitioner to take a look at my energy field, and they found hooks and implants on my back, right? And so it's important that you stay aware, right? That you check all angles, that you check integrity, that you stay focused on your heart. Does it resonate with your heart? Does it resonate with your heart, or does it resonate with your ego? Are you doing this because there's a part of you that wants this because it's the egoic part of you, or is this really truly a calling, right? All of these things, you want to pay attention to everything, because at the end of the day, it is your soul. It is your soul, and you are fully responsible for yourself on this lifetime. So it is up to you to protect yourself. And with that said, I wanted to ask you if you want to, if you well, first of all, if you have any questions about what I mentioned, or any additional questions that you want to ask, you can put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And the other thing I wanted to say as well is, thank you for listening to me and this rant, this 20-minute rant of me, basically, sharing this experience. I really felt like it was important. And I most likely will be doing recording a healing session for the collective in about this. I'm not going to be able to do that today because I was doing videos today all day, and so I'm not going to be able to do that today. But I'm looking into doing it next week, so that I'll put it up on my website, and so that you guys can, if you feel like you have received any sort of codes that are not for your highest good, and you're feeling confused, you're feeling fear, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling just weird about a certain interaction with a practitioner, then we can just go ahead and clear that and remove that for you. But if you feel like you need more in-depth support that is beyond a collective clearing, then make sure that you reach out to me at my website, thebloominglotushealing.com, and then we can set up a session. Or if you want to just set up a short discovery call, we can do that and then take a look at what's going on specifically for you, and then move on from there. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for supporting. I want to thank you for sharing. I want to thank you for liking. I want to thank you for being here, for being part of this community. Just thanking you for just existing and breathing. And I'm gonna just head out now. And I love you all. Namaste.